Okay, let's just dive right into it. Today, in this explainer, we are looking at the gritty, real-world survival guide to backpacking across Asia. If you spend any time scrolling your feed, you've probably seen those picture-perfect moments that make backpacking look like, I don't know, a continuous spa day. But today, we're completely looking past those Instagram filters. We're getting into the practical, battle-tested gear and strategies you actually need when things inevitably do not go according to plan. I mean, just look at this. The contrast between expectation and reality is literally night and day. On one hand, we've got the fantasy, right? Effortless linen outfits, sunset yoga, pristine beaches. It looks like an absolute breeze. But the gritty reality? That is what you actually need to prepare for. We're talking torrential monsoons, getting stranded at rural bus stations at 3 a.m., and just absolute sweat-drenched chaos. Honestly, that expensive linen outfit isn't going to save you in a sudden tropical downpour. So, to get you ready for that reality, we're unboxing your ultimate survival kit today. We'll be hitting 4 essential pillars: the digital arsenal, your heavy-duty medical kit, the suitcase versus backpack debate, and finally, the backup to the backup. All right, let's jump right into pillar number 1, the digital arsenal. Essential apps and tech for survival. Listen, before you even leave the airport, establishing a digital lifeline is an absolute game changer. You've got to set up these specific apps in advance. It's your perfect defense against language barriers and total data dead zones once you touch down in a new city. Take the Grab app, for instance. If you don't have it, get it. It's the absolute standard for safe transit across Southeast Asia. It totally eliminates the language barrier when you're trying to explain your destination to a driver. And honestly, better yet, it protects you from the notoriously inflated prices of unmetered local taxis. You know exactly what you're going to pay before you even open the car door. Now, it's really easy to rely on a great international data plan, right? But mobile data vanishes instantly. And I mean instantly, when you're trekking through the mountains of northern Vietnam or hopping between remote Indonesian islands. Downloading your specific offline regions on Google Maps and pairing that with offline language packs on Google Translate ensures you're never truly stranded. It's a lifesaver. And what about capturing your trip? Well, choosing durable tech over a massive, flashy camera is a seriously tactical move. A heavy, fragile DSLR doesn't just slow you down, it basically screams wealthy tourist to pickpockets. Going with rugged tech like the DJI Action 5 Pro means your gear can withstand extreme humidity, dirt trails, and sudden monsoon floods without skipping a single beat. It survives the chaos, so you can actually capture it. Moving right along to Section 2, Heavy-Duty Medical Kit, and we're going way beyond basic Band-Aids here. There's a popular saying that the infamous Bali Belly is not a myth. It's a rite of passage, and it is so true. Severe stomach bugs are practically inevitable as your body adjusts to entirely new food and water. So, your kit needs to be heavy-duty and ready for action the literal second you start feeling off. To combat this, your kit needs some very specific reinforcements. First up, activated charcoal and loperamide. These absorb toxins fast when you're, miles away from a clean restroom. Next, oral rehydration salts, or ORS. The tropical heat drains your electrolytes incredibly quickly, especially if you're fighting a bug. And finally, you really should consult your doctor before you leave for some broad-spectrum antibiotics. These can treat severe infections and literally save your trip when the nearest hospital is hours away. Just remember, you'll need a prescription for those. Okay, Section 3, Suitcase versus Backpack, the fatal luggage dilemma. I get it, bringing a hard-shell rolling suitcase feels safe. That is, until you face the actual terrain of the real Asia. You are going to encounter unpaved dirt roads, deeply cracked sidewalks, and narrow boat transfers where you're literally wading through knee-deep water. Let me tell you, dragging a heavy suitcase through muddy island alleys is an absolute nightmare. It will exhaust you so incredibly fast. The clear solution here is investing in a high-quality, weather-resistant travel backpack, somewhere right around the 40 to 50-liter mark. Why? Well, it forces you to embrace minimalism, so you don't overpack. It keeps your hands totally free for navigating dense crowds or gripping a rail on a bumpy boat ride. And most importantly, it prevents extreme physical exhaustion when those sidewalks just completely disappear on you. All right, that brings us to our final pillar, Section 4, the backup to the backup, expecting the unexpected. When you're wandering through crowded night markets, you absolutely need a tactical defense mechanism. Enter the dummy wallet. This is just a secondary, cheaper wallet loaded with a tiny bit of cash and an old, expired card. If you're ever cornered or pickpocketed in a chaotic crowd, you lose the decoy. You lose a few bucks, not your ID and your primary credit cards. It's a total game changer. But beyond your money, you've got to protect your memories. Never, ever keep all your travel footage on a single SD card. By establishing a strict nightly cloud backup routine or using a rugged external SSD, your memories survive. Even if your camera accidentally takes a swim in a monsoon, your photos are safe. Ultimately, surviving Asia comes down to a very specific mindset. As this quote perfectly puts it, backpacking Asia is not about having a perfect itinerary. It's about how well you adapt when everything goes wrong. You pack light, you prepare for the worst with your offline digital tools and your heavy-duty medical kit, and then you can just fully embrace the beautiful, chaotic mess of this incredible continent. So I'm going to leave you with this thought to consider before you start packing your bags. When your perfect itinerary inevitably falls apart in that beautiful, chaotic mess, how well equipped are you to adapt and survive? Because true readiness is all about adaptation. Take these practical tips, leave those romanticized social media illusions behind, and go master your next adventure. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you on the next one.